Homo sapien. According to the greater intellectuals of our day, these two words describe us perfectly. To them, it brings to mind words like advancement and progress. After all, we are the pinnacle of evolution. Now, you've all seen this before. Starting from mere apes, the Australopithecus, man, quote unquote, has continually evolved from Homo habilis to Homo erectus to Homo neanderthalensis to where we are now, Homo sapien. But have you ever wondered what Homo sapien means? Well, you know the term Homo means man, so you can take a guess with the rest. Homo erectus, as you can imagine, thus means the upright man. Homo neanderthalensis is the Neanderthal, but Homo sapien then means the wise man. Do you see what the world's evolutionists are saying? They're touting the assumption that we are the smartest, the most intelligent, and above all, the wisest of all our predecessors. But is that really true? Yes, we can look at the technological advances all around us, from the medical field, to the engineering field, to the scientific research field, and say indeed, we are much farther along. We are the greatest of all history. We are the most evolved. But again, I ask, is that really true? Yes, the tools we have are much improved, but the hands that have held those tools have remained the same over all these thousands of years. Man has always been and will always be man. It seems so often that archaeologists make another surprising discovery. And what is this surprise? They discover, seemingly again and again, that these ancient humans are far more advanced and intelligent than they've ever considered. For example, there was the discovery of the Antikythera mechanism, the earliest known analog computer that has ever been discovered. Dated to the early 200 BCs, it was used to predict astronomical positions decades ahead of time. There are even cave paintings that demonstrate a complex understanding of astronomy, recording the lunar cycles and using that information to plan accordingly. And after all, these are actually just cave paintings. And now in the present, in comparison, we have incredibly fast computers that can do almost infinitely more than any of these mechanisms or paintings. Yet, they were able to make do with their tools, and we make do nowadays with ours. But does that make us any wiser? That's the question here. Recently, the University of Sydney examined a thousands-year-old skeleton of a Stone Age farmer and discovered that this particular individual had undergone a complex medical surgery. Upon diving in, they examined the shortened leg bone to discover that he had experienced an amputation. Now you might be imagining a crude scene of an axe going through a man's leg, but that wasn't the case here. It was clear from the bone that this was an intentional and skillful amputation, allowing the wound to fully heal into a usable stump. The scientists realized that this was a procedure completed in this individual's childhood, and that afterwards, he was able to grow up into adulthood with this shortened appendage. Needless to say, the surgery was a success, and this individual was able to live a number of years longer despite their condition. Now, they didn't have the same tools we have today. There was no such thing as a clean room, an operating table, a scalpel, anesthesia, an IV drip, medical school residency, so on and so forth. Yet somehow, these primitive humans were able to achieve what many would have thought was impossible. They made do with what they had. But none of this should be surprising to us. This surgeon was a human, just as much as you and I are human as well. He may not have the same tools or resources we have today, but he has every bit of ingenuity, cleverness, and wisdom that we have access to today. Genesis 1:27 proudly proclaims that God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Man didn't evolve into existence. We were personally created by God himself. He used himself as a template, as a mold, setting us apart from the rest of creation. We were the ones created to rule, to subdue all of creation, and indeed the Lord gave us all that we need to accomplish that. The intellect, the rationale, the wisdom, we have it all, and ultimately, the truth and wisdom of God stands supreme yet again.